Hello and welcome to the Feet Away Results podcast. I'm Duncan Gorman and I'm joined here by my co-host Nathan Weir. Nathan, how you getting on this week?
How's form, Doug? Have you got your block in yet?
I've got my block in.
Good lad.
I've been trying. Interesting, this podcast. We're finally getting into the cups. McTavish, because it's a bit different to the other two podcasts that we've done, we're going to leave the cup draw and results to the end of the podcast and we'll deal with the Premiership results first. Okay, so Week 5, we've got Inverrary 1, Canusi 5, Comali 0, and Kyle's Athletic 2. Canusi, almost as in good form as Love It. They seem to be both competing with each other for how many goals they can get. What do you make of that, Nathan?
Yeah, just a fantastic result again. Savio on the score sheet again.
I mean, I don't like to say that we said it, but a hat-trick for Savio Giannini. It looks like he really is getting back into his 2014 form, scoring goals for fun. Great result for Canusi, but Inverrary, not so much, but nothing that you wouldn't really expect. Any team that's wanted to be competing for top tier, you'd expect them to deal with newly promoted sides such as Inverrary.
Yep, Inverrary will be hurting after that. They'll need to rally. That's 2 games, 2 losses now. Need to shore up the defence. Stop those goals coming in and start pushing forward.
Although they can't beat themselves up too much, a great forward line that Canusi have, and they're definitely coming through the ranks at the minute. They're playing with confidence and they're getting goals. Canusi be very happy. Comali suffered their first defeat of the season to Kyle's Athletic, who still go unbeaten. 2-0. What do you make of that?
That's a bit of a surprise to me, actually. Kilmallie have been playing so well, and I'm sure they played well this weekend. But yeah, great result for Kyle's. Kyle's should be very happy. Two games, 2 wins. That's a great start for the season.
Again, yeah, we've been hyping up teams like Canusi and Love It, but maybe the underdogs, or not even underdogs, the silent killers, just because they haven't played as many games as the other two, are Kyle's. They still haven't dropped points, they haven't drawed, they haven't lost. Could we see them maybe climb to the top of the table?
Well, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and you know, you only have to see previous seasons. You know, they've been challenging for the title, running Kinloch, Shield and Newton Moore really, really close. So I think they're going to be right back up there as soon as they get a bit more game time. Yeah,
definitely. So moving on to Week 6, the other Premiership results we have are Inverrary 2, Kinloch Shield 4, and Canusi 2 and Oban Camnock 0. Lochaber 1 and Love It 6. A lot of goals there, Nathan.
Yes. Shall we start with Love It, who have actually been they're unstoppable right now. Both Mark and Mark McLachlan and Greg Matheson on the score sheet again. I think you're going to be hearing their names quite a lot.
6 games played and 22 goals scored between them already within all competitions. Yeah, I wouldn't want them to be having a go at my defence anyway. Do you think that maybe they're playing in the right positions, they're managerial, or do you think that those two players are just linking up together personally, or is it just really good form?
I think it's a combination of all 3, really. I mean, you've got to remember that Love It have a class centre line too, and they're providing them really good ball, both out wide and in the centre. These 2 players are really strong and physical, but they've also got a great touch and a great shot. So they're just really well-rounded players, to be honest. And you know that they're absolutely destroying teams right now. Maybe someone will find the magic formula to mark one of them, but right now they're absolutely on fire.
Is it safe to say that the Love It forward line is it the best in the Premiership?
Interesting one. I mean, currently it is.
The best in Shinty.
It could be right now. I would say that, you know, 22 goals in 3 games. I mean, the season's still young yet. I mean, injuries still could happen. That's right, Duncan. You could go on and you'd be Newton Moore's top man if you took one of them out.
There's time yet. I do play Newton Moore style. I'm growing into the season. Suffered a couple of defeats early, injury, but I'll be back. The only other people that you could really say that have been challenging Love It for perhaps the most efficient forward line is Canusi. Again, we see Savio Giannini's name popping up in the score sheet. And a good result for them against Open Camanachd, who before this were unbeaten.
Yeah, I mean that's a great result by Kingusi again. I'm a bit surprised Oban Camanachd didn't travel too well there. I mean, they've been on great season both in the preseason, but yeah, Kingusi again just putting out some solid results, and I think this result here shows not only that their forward line is on top form, but that their defence. I mean, they've conceded very few goals over the past few games, and their centre line seems to be holding really strong.
Definitely, I think we've seen a bit of a pattern with Kingusi as well. They seem to be churning out these results. Something that I saw with Newtonmore a couple of seasons ago was they won't worry, the game is not going their way, or maybe they haven't scored by half time, they just keep going, and a few of their goals have come right at the last minute where they've just been sort of grasping their chances. So they obviously no lack of heart there from Kingusi. Oban Camanachd, could we see this team struggle against some of the bigger teams in the Premiership?
Over the past few seasons, Oban Camanachd have usually been the underdogs, and they're usually giant killers, so they always rise to an occasion, and they've always done very well in the cups. So we can't discount anyone right now, but that's a great result for Kingusi, and they're on flying form.
Definitely. So Kinlochshiel, finally, they're coming into a bit of form, which definitely what they needed. Inverrary not having a great time in their first few weeks in the Premiership. Maybe not as much resilience as a team like Comali, who really do have that heart and fight. Are Inverrary just suffering a couple of bad weeks? Will they bounce back?
Well, I don't know here. I mean, you'd be expecting a better result at home. You know, they really need a big reaction from the past 2 weeks, and they are really struggling. But
especially against a side which can't really be determined as in form. Kinlochshiel have been suffering the past couple of weeks, especially to Love It.
Yeah, Kinlochshiel have been really unlucky with some injuries. A few people have moved away from the club, and you know, this is a great result from them. And I know two of the young boys, Duncan Matheson and Duncan McRae, you know, they got their first goals of the season, and they'll be really happy with that performance. And they've got some great results lined up ahead. So hopefully they'll do great for the rest of the season.
So that leaves us at the end of week 6. The league table is starting to shape up a bit more. We've got a bit of a race forming between Lovett and Kingusi, who have both played 5. Lovett still stands in first place with 8 points, but head on goal difference. Kingusi a close second, also with 8 points. Kyle's Athletic moving up into third with 4 points, who still go undefeated and haven't dropped any points. Impressive results from them. Kilmally slot down into 4th place on 4 points. Kinlochshiel moving up into 5th place with a good result for them against Inverrary this week with 3 points. Newtonmore staying in 6th place with 2 points. Oban Camanachd dropping down into 7th place with 2 points. And Lochaber dropping down again into 8th place with 1 point. Inverrary and Caberfay are still to get their first points of the season in 9th and 10th. So moving on into the exciting action of this week's podcast, we're on to the McTavish Cup. Some exciting draws over the past couple of weeks and some exciting results. So Caberfay have beaten Lochaber 3-2. I love it. Have thrashed Kinlochshiel again 4-1. Skye thrashed Fort William with ease 4-1. Kumali beaten by Newtonmore by 5, which is a great result for Newtonmore bouncing back. Strathglass beat Inverness 5-1, and that rounds the first round up. What's your thoughts, Nathan?
Yeah, I mean, it's looking to shape up to be a great final already. Some great results there. Caberfay versus Lochaber getting their first win of the season. That must be great for Caberfay, but another loss from Lochaber by 1 goal. That they must be really hurting, and they're still putting a great shift in.
They're showing that they still have fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're being beat by big teams 5 or 6-0. They definitely are hanging in there for every game. It will be disheartening for them to lose by such a close margin. Love it. Cruise past Kinlochshiel again. You would have thought Kinlochshiel would be coming back. They want to prove a point. Again, home to Love It. No, away to Love It, sorry. Another very bad result for them. They would have been wanting to redeem themselves in the cup after having such a bad opening game against Love It in the Premiership.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt back in Dorney there for their 9 goals in 2 games. It's a tough one I know Kinlochshiel are plagued with injuries, but you just really can't discount these two front men for Lovat. They are on absolute form, and I'm backing Lovat to at least reach the semi, or if not the final.
Newton Moore, finally coming back into the swing of things. Evan Menzies double brace. Is this the Newton Moore that we know? Can they come back with this urge of confidence and reach to another cup final that they so often do?
I mean, Newton Moore have been dominating this McTavish over the past 10, 15 years. I mean, they really need this. They really need good results in the cups to boost their league performance, and that is exactly what they've been wanting. That's the reaction that PJ wants. Definitely. But he needs more. And Evan Menzies, a quality player, great touch, great shot. 4 goals in that game against Kilmallie, which are on form side right now. That's a really good result for Newton Moore.
Especially in a cup game, everything's open. Kilmallie usually come out fighting. They even faced each other a couple of years ago in the final, in which Kilmallie put up a very good fight. It was a very close game. Speaking of Evan Menzies, there seems to be a disciplinary problem in Newton Moore. Who would have guessed it? Evan Menzies and Stephen McDonald's, 2 huge players, both only 1 or 2 yellow cards away from severe match bans. Evan's 1 yellow away from a 4-match ban, and Stephen's 2 yellows away from a 6-match ban. And Michael Russell, another key player, again playing up front for Newton Moore, but very diverse, can play all over the shop, is 1 card away from another 2-match ban. Could you see this going very wrong for Newton Moore?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the times, I mean, with the Shinty point system, I mean, 1 yellow is a costly thing. It will stay on your record for a while, and sometimes silly things such as chatting back to the ref, swearing, little fouls, niggling fouls. These all come to hurt a team later on in the season, and there have been many a team that have dropped points because of something like this. PJ's going to have to really get inside their head and just say, look, guys, you are on the last warning. The league's still in contention. We're too good a team to be discounted. You can't lose a game because of disciplinary record. That's just not on. I
mean, the real heart of the team as well, it could be argued. Stephen McDonald, as you were saying a couple of weeks ago, he really is a top player of the Year award numerous times, and you really can't dominate the midfield against any team. Without him for 6 weeks, things can change a lot. Not to mention they've not had a great start already in terms of the Premiership. Their warm-up time, which they've had a couple games now, you want them to be starting to gain those points now, and with another yellow card for either one of them, that could be hard to do. So moving on to the next round of the McTavish Cup, we have some extra interesting mix-ups. Skye meet Glenurquhart, Newton Moore are playing Cabbers, and Bewley will play Strathglass. Kingussie also are playing Lovat, which I personally find to be the most interesting of these games.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a clash of the Titans again. The 2 on-form sides in the Premier meet. It's a real shame that they're actually meeting in the next round here. You'd be expecting both of those teams with their current form to be meeting in the final, but we'll have to see how this goes. I mean, I definitely want to try and make it up to this game. It's going to be a fantastic game, and hopefully they can match each other well and bring out a fantastic cup.
Yeah, very exciting fixture, and you can expect there to be some very nice attacking Shinty on display, and it might come down to a game of defence. Who can hold out the other team for as long as possible, because in a fixture like this there's going to be goals. It's almost certain. Another one that I'd actually take personal interest in, Bewley v Strathglass. I'd love to see Strathglass pop up into a semi-final later on, or even a final. Why not? They deserve it. They've been grueling away in the National League for a while now, fighting off relegation. Do they deserve this win? Have they been putting in the effort?
Yeah, I mean Strathglass are always a sticky team to play against. I mean some good sides in the national last year have dropped points to them. They've got a strong defence and centre line, and you know they really work away. They're a team of workhorses, and you know Bewley versus Strathglass, you'd be expecting that could be anyone's game. It should be a great fixture.
Skye versus Glenurquhart, also a very good fixture. Glenurquhart and Skye both recently relegated into the national. This could be a sort of contest to redeem themselves for their lack of performances last year in the Premiership. Who do you think would come out on top?
So it's a difficult question, Duncan. But
Put you on the spot.
From what I've seen, I mean, I'm a Shield man, so I can't really say that I can't really support Skye. But I have seen them, and they've got some quality results this season. Beating Fort William 4-1. I mean that's no easy feat. But also looking at Glenurquhart this season, they're on absolute form. I mean they've got some great players returning to the team. Ewan Brady, Neil Reid, and they've got a strong.
It is a battle down in the national, and it'll be interesting who can transfer that. Not everyone can get far in the national over. There's a lot of hard games that you have to play because there's a lot of good teams. But in the McTavish, it'll be interesting to see which one of them can really push and go for the silverware. I'm putting you on the spot again. Who are you putting your money on?
Newtonmore versus Cabbers, or
for a winner overall.
For a winner overall, I'm gonna have to go for Kingussie.
Kingussie? And what do you reckon their score versus Levitt? Hard hitting questions.
I think it'll be a very close score, but I think it'll be a high scoring game also. I'm going to say 4-3 to Kingussie.
I'm thinking 3-2 to Levitt, and I think I'm going to have to be biased, haven't I? I think Newtonmore will win again. Newtonmore Levitt final 3-1 Newtonmore. You're scowling at me, Nathan. You're scowling.
I think the final could be well we don't know yet, but it could be Newtonmore Kingussie.
I'd love it. I would love it.
I think we all would.
Great fixture to watch. This has been the Feet and Away Results podcast. A longer episode for you folks today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and you can join us a couple of weeks for more. I've been Duncan Gorman, and this is Nathan Muir, my co-host, and thanks for listening. See you later.